everyone, welcome to A Curious Cuttlefish. We are going to be going on another yarn adventure today. So today, just like last week, we are going to be, or I am going to be dyeing some more yarn, and I got some inspiration from Chem Knits, so we will be doing some experiments. And I learned from last time to wear darker colors and not white. Yes. And also, putting on an apron like this is advised. So, this time I've had requests to actually show the process of dyeing the yarn. I will do my best to show that to you guys while I am doing it. So let's take a look at the yarns that I will be dyeing. So for today's dyeing, I am going to be using these cotton cakes. I saw Chem Knits do some cakes, and so I was super interested, and I'm very excited to see how these ones turn out. So up here we have a red heart 100% cotton, and I made two smaller cakes out of this because I'm curious if the dye will behave differently on a smaller cake as opposed to a full skein like this peaches and cream. So I have the natural color, and this is the white, so a bleached one. And then here is a natural sugar and cream. So today we'll be dyeing cotton cakes. So I'm going to take you guys through the process a little bit more this time. Let's move over to the next area. So here I have a tray that I filled with water. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to take the cake and just place it in here. And what I want is I want this to be soaked completely. So I'm probably going to let this sit for anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour, just to make sure it's fully saturated. So these are the two. Sugars and cream, and I'm going to do the same with the red heart this is the peaches and cream. I'm going to do the same with the sugar and cream and the red heart. So I just want to make sure that this is submerged, getting water in there. I made these cakes super loose because I want them to be able to absorb the dye, and I'm curious if it's going to get all the way in. But yes, so I'm going to do this setup. I'm going to make sure that the other cakes also are in their own pan and that they are soaking. And I am adding a little bit of salt to this water bath so that they have some salts in them for taking the dye. In case you didn't know, it is advised to add salt to your water if you are doing cotton. So I will set up the other one, and then I will take you guys over to the stove where I have, once I get water heated up, and you can see what I do from there. Okay, so now we are at my stove, and I got one of these large trays, and this is going to be just for my dyeing. So this is my first time using this, and I feel like it would work really well for those cakes. It's nice and shallow. There's a large area, so I'm hoping I can do all the cakes together. I will be adding some salt into here. And these are what I use for dyeing only. You don't want to mix anything that you use for food. So this is heating up. I'm going to wait till it gets to about a boil, and then I'll turn the camera back on, and I will show you guys me putting those cotton cakes in here. Actually, first, before that, I'm going to add vinegar to this because you want your dye to be slightly acidic. So I'll probably say 3 tablespoons of vinegar to this, and a base dye color, and then I can add extra dye
once the cakes are in here. So let me do that. Let me wait for this to get boiling. You can probably hear it. It's warming up. So I will be right back. Okay, so I added the color in here and you can see it there. It is now warm, as you can tell. So, and I should have brought the yarn over here. Let me go grab the yarn and then I'm going to stick it in here and you guys can see how that looks. Okay, so here's the yarn. Here's where it's going. And let's just grab. Try not to get too much water everywhere. And we're gonna just place it in here. I'm dropping things. Alright. I'm very excited to see what this does. It's looking kind of pinkish, has me a little worried, but it'll work out, right? I was hoping for like a light lavender. We'll see what it looks like. Move you. Hold the camera right, Sarah. Alright. Last one. I think there's room for him right here. Oh, and that one is completely submerged because he's so small. I wonder what that'll look like. So there you have it. They're going to sit in here for a while. I do have other things I was going to add to this, so let me go grab those and I will turn you back on. So if you can see here, it is picking up some of the color. I'm super excited to see what this looks like. And then right here, I have some dyes I wanted to try to pour in the center of these cakes and see what happens. So I have 3 of them and I have 3 larger cakes. So let's see. I'm gonna pour, this is like the corally color that I used. I'm gonna put this right here in the center. And we'll see. I don't know if it's gonna go all the way through to the bottom. Alright, I'm just gonna let that one sit. And then let's see, here is a gray. I think I'm gonna put the gray. Do I want to put there? I'm gonna put it on this one. And I'm gonna keep this. I will use it for something else. Let's see, and then finally this red I will put in here. Maybe, and I'm just gonna leave that one. I'll leave one without something in the center. We'll see what happens. This one is not, let me put this away. So, let's get to this. This one is not going to have anything done to it. We'll see what it looks like once it is made into a hank. I just put some in the center of here. I think I want to push this down because it's not really under all the water. Neither is this one. And this water is hot, guys. I probably shouldn't do this, but I want it to absorb. I should get my tongs. Yeah, so I'm going to push these down a bit Try to make sure that they are getting heat and water to all areas. And I'm gonna let this sit here on the stove for, gosh, probably 15 to 30 minutes. We'll see. I'll let you know once I turn this back on and we check on it. So, be back. I ended up flipping these over because I felt like the top wasn't getting enough heat to it. And as you can see, there is less dye in the water now, but there still is dye. So I decided, we have over here, I got some more cotton, I found some more cotton. I'm gonna pull the cakes out and I'm gonna dump this in along with a spare skein of some wool just to soak up the color. So I'll show you guys once I pull the cakes out and I toss this and the other one in. That big cake is a bit too heavy for me to pick up and move off to the side, so I just dumped this extra skein of cotton inside. I'm hoping to soak up the remainder of the dye. I also have this wool that I'm just gonna toss in like this. This is the one that I dyed the first time, so yeah, I'm gonna dump this in. I'm gonna pull it out real fast, reskein it up, and then use the extra dyes on it, and we'll see how that looks. So just gonna stick that in there, and hopefully this will, between this one and the other one, hopefully they will soak up whatever. Oh yeah, that's helping a lot. Yeah, so there's only a little bit of dye left in here. But as you can see, it's turning clear, and once this is clear, that means these should be done. I really like this light lavender that these ones are turning, though. That'll be super fun. Yeah. Alright, so I'm going to grab the extra dye and just dabble them over these, let these sit for 15 to 20 minutes. Hopefully this water will turn clear. It's clearing up pretty good now, and the wool will definitely soak this up quickly. So yeah, we'll go with that, and I will show you guys once everything has been brought down to room temperature, and yeah, we will go from there. I just took this apart, rewound it up into a hank, and so you see the color variation on that. I'm going to add it back into the dye bath after I add the remainder of the gray dye, or actually after I add the remainder of the leftover red dye. I'm going to add this again, let it soak up, and then I'm going to repeat the process. So when I take it out to repeat that process, I'll record that so you can see exactly what I'm doing with this one. I'm just trying to use up all the dye, and so I don't waste anything. I added the red dye. I am just gonna move this around in here. Sorry if it's blurry, I'm trying to hold the camera and move this. So I'm just gonna move this around in here, hoping it picks up the red dye on the exposed areas, and then once this red dye is absorbed, I'm gonna pull this out. I will show you. I don't know if I can show you. I need both hands to rehank it. So basically I just take this apart, I move it, I rotate it a bit, and then I rehank it up. But I'm hoping that we'll get a really neat colorway from this one. Just because I want to use up all this extra dye, I don't want to waste any of it. And then the one in the back, I'm just pouring little bits and blotches of the leftover dye on it. We'll see how that one turns out. The water in the back, as you can tell, is almost clear, so that has absorbed a lot of this. I added red to this side so that the wool can get some red on it, and then I'll add the gray, and we will be done. So I won't show that next step of the gray actually. I will show you guys once everything has cooled down to room temperature and I will wash it. So, until then. We're going to be rinsing these now that they have come down to room temperature. So, let's start with this small one. Add a little bit of dish soap. Just because I want to get the salt and vinegar out from this. And I'm sure that because it is a cake, it's going to take a bit longer to dry. I probably will make this a hank to make it easier to dry. I will have to do that when I'm not holding the camera. It's already starting to come apart with me washing it, so I'm going to use both hands. But you guys get the idea. These are going to go in here. They will be washed and rinsed, and I'm just making sure that this water is clear and there's no dye coming out of this cotton. So I'm going to do that with these, and then once I have them ready to hang, I will bring the camera back out again. The yarn has been washed, and I took some time to put it on my umbrella so that we can hang it to dry. So here it is, hanging to dry. Let's see if I'm going to bring you guys closer to see. I love all the variations you get by dyeing the yarn in this way. I mean, yeah, wow. Okay, let's try to focus. There we go. So, there's some of the cotton. And then over here is the two that I use to soak up the remaining dye. I'm really happy with how the cotton turned out. I really like that color. And then as you can see, I've got all these blotches going on from the wool one. So I cannot wait to see what these look like. I'm probably going to do these two as hanks, and then the ones over here, I really want to show them as cakes once everything has dried. So it took me one full day to get it to this point. Well, I guess 2 days from start till now. Probably won't be told tomorrow that it'll be yeah. Words. Okay, it probably will not be until tomorrow that it will be dry enough for me to cake up and then show you. At which point I will insert pictures of them and sit down and chat with you guys about how the whole process went. So, this is a longer video, longer than last week's yarn adventure, but I hope you do enjoy it.
Let's take a closer look at that yarn now that I have hanged it up and caked it up, and I can show it to you guys now. So, here's that tiny little cake that was dyed. I'm really happy with how the colors turned out. I really like this method for dyeing, and this cotton actually soaked up the color pretty well. So that's the little one, and it almost has a stone wash feel to it, the way that the color was absorbed. So there's one, and then I caked these up again. So let's see, this one, you can see the colors on there. this is the one that I just placed in there, and I didn't add any other colors to the center. So there's what it looks like. And if you can see how it looks stone wash, and it has sort of that gradient as it goes towards the center. Really happy with how this turned out. And then this one, I had placed a little bit of gray in the center, and you can see that gray in there. There's also touches of blue that go in there because the blue absorbs slower than the reds. So there's the cotton where I added gray to the center. And if you remember, I hung this up to dry as a hank, or I had to wind it on my umbrella, and then I recaked it afterwards because I wanted to be able to show all those colors. So there's this cake. And then I did a cake where I put an orangey coral in the center. So there it is. Look at those colors. Center pool's right there. This is a pretty sizable cake. There you can see it. Colors are beautiful. I love how it goes from the purple on the outside to the white with just flecks of the purple to flecks of coral with the white, and then coral right there in the center. So this one is very pretty. This is the cotton blend. So there's how it finished out. And then, because I had so much dye left over in the water, I threw in this one. And look at that color. It's coming up a lot more purple on the video, but I would put this at like a dusky lavender color. Yeah, a bit closer to like what you're seeing here. It just looks very purple in the video. But I am so happy with how this one turned out. I wish that I had done another yarn in addition to the cotton, because since this was the leftover dyes, I really don't know how to reproduce this color, but I absolutely love this color. So there's that one. And then here's that one that I kept putting in and then readjusting to toss in again. So it has blotches of the white, it's a creamish, then we have blotches of pink, blotches of purple, and then we have that like dusky lavender color. And it's just, this one is gorgeous. So make a really fun scarf, or I just want to put it on my neck. Again, this one is wool. It's not like a cloud. It's not the softest yarn. It feels woolly, but I would say it's soft enough to put on my face and on my neck. That's my personal opinion. But there's the other one that I used to just soak up the remaining dye. So hopefully today's yarn adventure was a bit more informative for you guys to see the process that I went through and how I create these yarns as I'm experimenting with yarn dyeing. It is so much fun. I am so glad that you came with me. I'm gonna have to cut that. So I hope you enjoyed coming along on my little yarn dyeing adventure with me. I hope that you are able to see more of how I am experimenting with dyeing these yarns, and just getting a little taste for what I would like to do in the future. And so you know, making these unique one-of-a-kind yarns using leftover dyes is really fun. And next week or the week after, we'll see how much time I have. These yarn adventures take about a week. I would like to see if I can replicate the same color multiple times. So that'll be the next yarn adventure when I can create time to do that. Thank you so much for watching my videos. You can hear Mr. Cuttlefish in the background sneezing. Sorry. I appreciate each and every one of you for checking out my videos. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button. I enjoy reading your comments and replying to them, so comment if you would like. And if you have not subscribed to my channel, please hit the subscribe button so that you can see all of my different yarny adventures, my podcasts, and my yarn reviews. So thank you for watching, and I will see you guys soon. Bye.